there is good news out there. And what I want you to realize is that there are people who have their own families who are in harm's way, their own homes that are underwater, but they're going to work and they're helping people. And I want to talk about one of those stories right now because we have a new mom who is joining us. Her name is Margaret Chu. Newborn baby, Margaret. You're in NYU hospital, and then you need to be evacuated. What happened?
Yeah, we went into labor at about 6 in the morning that Monday. Unbeknownst to us, our son was going to come, 3 weeks early. And we rushed to the hospital. We paged my doctor, and thank goodness, Dr. Brina Maldonado, she had the foresight to stay in the city just in case something like this happened. So she was actually very accessible. She met us at the hospital. 6 hours later, we gave birth to our second son, Cole Prada. And after we gave birth, we were put upstairs to recover. And we knew that it was kind of a tenuous situation with everything that was going on with the weather and everything that was going on in the news. The hospital itself had shut down. The emergency room has shut down pretty much all functions except for labor and delivery and maternity and pediatrics, basically so that women, that went into labor, you can't control when you go into labor, would at least have some place to go at the hospital in this situation. So we were there recovering, and about 8 hours later, 8 p.m., the nurses came around and said, just so you know, Con Ed called and said the power may go out. If the power goes out, there are sub-generators at NYU Hospital, and we're going to, try to ride it out here. We put you on the safe side of the building facing west, not east, so we weren't getting the strong winds off the East River. And we were really just hoping to just ride it out to the next morning. But sure enough, the power went out, about a hour later. The generators kicked in, and so the emergency lights came on, and we thought, okay, so we're okay. The nurses are here. The doctors are here. This is the best place we can be with a newborn child. And shortly after that, about a half hour after that, the backup generators went out. So then we were plunged in the dark. And at this time, you could hear all the winds howling. You're pretty far up in the building. You can hear, the tarps in nearby construction sites flapping around, and it got a little scary, got a little hairy, but we felt really comfortable, with a baby that's just a few hours old, having all this medical staff around. They did the best that they could. They were really great. They kept everyone informed. Everyone was using their iPhones, their BlackBerries as lights. The nurses went around and got flashlights. They were scrambling to get batteries. They were doing everything they could to try to just kind of reassure us that we were at least in a safe building. Nothing was, no windows were flying off or anything like that. But at about 11 o'clock, 11:30, we started noticing the water was gone because there was no longer any pressure in the pipes because the electric was out. And that's when we knew that we could no longer stay there. And they said, they were going to coming around again and telling us that there was an evacuation plan in place, that we would be evacuated to another hospital that had full power in the city. And the plan was starting to kind of materialize. And within the next 2 hours, so by about 2 a.m., we would know exactly where we were going.
Would you consider this an easy delivery or a difficult delivery, Margaret?
The delivery itself was, I don't think anyone...
was probably easier than what took place afterwards, right? Unbelievable.
The delivery itself wasn't that bad. I think we were actually one of the lucky ones because we delivered while we still had full power, which means that there are fetal heart monitors going on so that, that the doctors can see how the baby's heart is doing while you're having labor. Unfortunately, there were women that came into the hospital, one of which I think was one of my doctor's patients, who had to be delivered with flashlights.
Wow.
And that's like kind of delivering in the dark ages here.
Gregory, first of all, congratulations. Beautiful, beautiful baby. What was it like? And what would you like to say to the folks in that hospital who helped you, your wife, Margaret, and your baby, Cole?
Well, Vinny, thank you. It was just an amazing experience to be a new father again. And then it's just crazy to go through what we went through 2 nights ago. And the professionals, medical professionals that were there did an amazing job. Many of them were on triple shifts. They were tired themselves. They wanted to go home, as you were just saying. And yet, when those lights went off, when those power generators went off, they went into autopilot mode themselves and knew that they had to get a job done, which was to get all the patients safely out of the hospital, and they did so. It was organized chaos, but they did it.
Gregory, how about the story you're going to tell to little Cole when he gets a little bit older?
He's going to be a popular kid in school.